Hello, friends. Welcome to the first episode of the Mindset Minute interview series. This is Amber, Monica, Trina, and Rochelle here with the remarkable, renowned, and revered Rod Kleif. Thanks for joining us, Rod.
Remarkable, renowned, and revered. Oh, good God. No, none of that. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, guys. I'm excited to talk to you today.
All right. We're going to kick this off with Monica sharing a bit about your background, and then we'll jump right into some fun questions for you about mindset. Over to you, Monica.
Thanks, Amber. So Rod Kleif is a passionate real estate investor who has personally owned and managed over 2,000 apartments and homes. Rod is the host of the #1 real estate podcast on iTunes called Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing. And as an accomplished entrepreneur, he has built several successful multi-million-dollar businesses. But ask Rod what he's most proud of, and he will tell you about his work as a community philanthropist. Over the past 14 years, his work has benefited passion for real estate investing with his personal philosophy of goal setting, envisioning, and manifesting success to become one of America's top real estate investment professionals. And as a director of investments at REM, Rod Kleif uses his expertise to guide the firm in identifying and acquiring undervalued apartment complexes, and he specializes in implementing efficient management and communication to ensure profitability. So, Rod, right off the bat, what would you say is the most important thing that you think mindset is to become a success in this business?
Mindset is the foundational requirement of success in this or any business. 80 to 90% of anybody's success in anything is mindset and your psychology. So, and most people don't teach it. And that's the sad thing. So many people will go to an event or buy a course online or get the tapes. And if they don't have the right mindset and they don't know what they want and why they want it, they aren't going to take action. So, that's why I spend so much time at my events and on my podcast talking about mindset, because it really is the foundational requirement to becoming a success in anything. You have to want it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Rod, what mindset have you had to embody to grow in this business?
Well, if you know my story, I've had some pretty big setbacks. I call them seminars, some giant ones, actually. I've had a couple of huge ones in my life. And the only thing that got me through was remembering what it was that I wanted and why I wanted it. Because it's so easy to focus on what you don't want. But the reality is whatever you focus on, you manifest and it grows into your life. So you need to be sure that you're focused on what it is you want. And, that's what got me through the big upsets that I had, the big seminars that I had, was remembering what it was I wanted and forcing myself to focus on that. Even when it's so easy as human beings, what we'll do is we'll tell stories, we'll tell ourselves stories, which are really circuit breakers to prevent us from feeling bad about ourselves because we're not taking action. But if you hear anything I say to you today, it's to realize that to be a success in anything is going to require you to become a little bit uncomfortable. You're going to have to push yourself. You're going to have to push through that comfort to get that life that you want. And some of us have, many of us have great lives where we have a roof over our head, we eat well, we dress well, but we know we want more. But we're comfortable. And I will tell you, comfort kills. That's Grant Cardone's saying. I've got it on my wall. Comfort actually kills, and you have to get outside of it. The life you want is right on the other side of that comfort. So what I use to get past that comfort is helping people really discern what it is they want, but more importantly, why they want it. Coming up with the positive whys and even some negative whys, because as human beings, we'll avoid pain more than we'll try to gain pleasure. So, when I take people through a goal setting exercise, I have them write down how they're going to feel if they don't reach those goals and make it really painful. Like, I don't want to feel like I let down my spouse. I don't want to feel like a failure. I don't want to have a life of regret, because that possibility of pain will push you. And so the key is to do whatever you have to do to find that leverage on yourself, that fuel. And the best way I know how is to really clearly decide what it is you want write the whys down, go get pictures of what it is you want, put them around you. You know, I go to CVS and Walgreens, I have these big pictures blown up so they're in front of me all the time. You put them in screensavers on your computer. You know, I've got a planner. I use a paper planner. In the back of that thing, I've got pictures of the goals that I wanted 20 years ago. They've been in there for 20 years. What's astounding is I have almost everything that's there, from the cars to the boats to the watches to the beautiful wife. So this stuff works, but the key is to focus on what you want, because you've got to have that fuel.
Great. What are some of the things you do to develop your mindset, and on what frequency, Rod?
Well, listen, I do a morning ritual, and let's start there, and then I'll add something else. So I do a morning ritual every morning. I've got vision boards, and I do individual vision boards for everything that I want. I've got a vision board because I want to build I want to build schools in Latin America. So I've got a vision board for that. I got a vision board for the material things, the different material things that I want. I've got a gratitude board as well. So all the pictures of things I'm grateful for. So I have these sitting next to my recliner. I sit there just for a couple minutes, and I close my eyes, and I'm just grateful for the beautiful things that are in my life. My amazing wife, my kids, my coaching students, you guys, my warriors, my foundation. You mentioned my foundation. By the way, it's 60,000 kids we've helped so far. Not 50. But anyway, so I look at these boards because I'm really visual. So I look at them, and then after I'm grateful for the things that I already have, I look at these things that I want and imagine that I already have them. And sometimes I get emotional, just being grateful to God or the universe, whatever you believe, as if I already have them. And I'll tell you, the gratitude is a critical piece. That emotion of gratitude is so powerful to manifest what you want in life. So don't avoid that piece of it. Very, very important. So I do these morning rituals, and then I just make a declaration that it's going to be an incredible day, and it usually is. Because as you say it, so shall it be, right?
Right.
What the good book says. Now, the other thing that I do is it's very easy to get caught up in working just nonstop. It's important to take breaks. You've got to take breaks throughout the day, re-energize, reconnect with the people you love, go outside in nature, just be grateful again. Again, it all comes back to gratitude, but that's how I keep my mindset solid. I look at the things that I want, I associate with them. Sometimes, I'll write my goals down again, or write my whys down again, but I just remember to be happy as well. So many people want to achieve, to be happy. I can't, like it's a common thing. I can't wait till I retire because that's when I'll be happy. Okay. Or as soon as I reach that financial goal that I have, I'll be happy. But I'm here to tell you, it's much smarter to happily achieve. Be happy on the path. Okay. That's your life. Be happy now. Don't wait.
Yeah.
And one other little thing. The goals themselves aren't going to make you happy. You reach that $10,000 or $20,000 a month net income that you want. That's not going to make you happy. You'll be happy for a little while. What makes you happy is progress and growth, continual progress and growth. You think you're going to get that happiness after you achieve that material thing. You get that car, you get that house, and yes, you'll be happy for a while. But to have sustained, consistent happiness, you have to progress. You have to grow. And so I'm going to tell you, one of the other things that's critical that you do is that every week when you look back on what you did the previous week, acknowledge that you made some progress, even if it's a little bit, because that'll help you stay happy as well. And that'll build that emotional bank account. So when you have those setbacks and you get your nose bloodied, which you inevitably will, you still feel good because you know you're making progress. Progress equals happiness.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. I like it. I love I like the commentary on having the abundance mindset and remembering gratitude.
I have a sign on my wall in my fitness room that says, God's wealth flows through me in avalanches of abundance. Thank you, God. And I yell that at the top of my lungs when I'm running sometimes. And over and over again. Luckily, nobody's in there to hear me, but I really believe in incanting the things that you want to embody. Like having an identity statement for how you what you aspire to be. And I have a lot of I am statements in my exercise room. Again, I am success. I am the world's greatest husband. I am, an amazing leader. I'm an incredible father. Anything you put the words I am in front of is an identity statement. And there's no greater force in the human psyche than the need to remain consistent with how we identify ourselves. So you want to have this positive stuff around you. You want to have the pictures. You want to have the quotes on the wall. You want to have the sayings, because that's the fuel.
Okay, that all makes sense. And I'm ready to go home and get my scissors, and construction glue, and paper and all that, and make it all happen.
Just go on Vistaprint. You can get these little posters on Vistaprint for like $11, and you can have a nice background, and you can put a saying on there. And you go on Amazon, you can find frames for like $6 a piece. It's nothing to do this. This is what I did.
Yeah, that all sounds great and everything. And I think that we're all on board for that. But my question is, we're talking about where you are now. You do all these things now. You are this, you're abundant, you're happy, you're all that. But from the moment when you started developing your mindset, take us back then. You're in our shoes as a newbie. How long did it take before you started seeing that growth within yourself, these realizations and everything that eventually transcend into the success that we see here today?
Okay. As an aspiring entrepreneur that wants success, it's so easy to get sidetracked. It's so easy to get discouraged. And that's why it's so critical that you take these steps to focus on what you want, to make sure you have it around you if you're a visual person, to remind yourself regularly that you freaking rock, to remind yourself to be grateful, to be happy about life right now, to remember to celebrate progress, because you're gonna have setbacks. So back to your question about when I first got started, I didn't know what I was doing when I first got started. I just knew, honestly, negative drove me when I first got started, because I asked myself the question, how can I show them I'm good enough? And so I had to prove to the world I was good enough. That actually drove me, which was a negative driver. But, I encourage you, see, that was the pain. That was the pain driving me. So pain does work as a driver, but you have to discern it for yourself, and it's different for every person. Why do you want it? Why do you really want it? Do you want to help other people? Do you want to help your family? Do you want to create an incredible future? Do you want to do whatever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want? What's your driver? And it's different for everybody. Some people, want to give back. Others want to create a secure future. Others want the material things. It's just, whatever it is, but that's what you have to focus on. That's the leverage. And so you just have to figure out what that is for yourself, and get away from your story of why you don't have what you don't have, because it's a story, it's a circuit breaker, and it's preventing you from getting disgusted. And I will tell you, sometimes disgust is a hell of a motivator as well. Sometimes you have to get disgusted to push yourself. So whatever it is, find it, tap into it, and use it.
Okay. So Rod, what would you say, how your mindset, the growth that you've embodied, how has that helped you deal with some of the setbacks that you've encountered?
Well, I've had big ones. I had the $50 million I lost in 2008. And I will tell you, that is no fun. When you think you're set for life, you're never going to have to work hard again. Life is grand. You live in an $8 million house on the beach, and, what could possibly go wrong? Well, the only thing that got me through and got me back to the success that I have today is focusing on what I want. Sure, I crawled under a rock for a few months. I had my story, woe is me, oh, why did that happen to me? I went through that for a while, but I didn't live there, and that's the thing. Pain, what's the phrase I'm trying to say here? Pain is gonna happen, but suffering is optional. Suffering is a choice. I had the pain, and I suffered for a while, but then I'm like, this is stupid. I know what I want. I know I can do it again. I know I can do it faster this time, because I'm a hell of a lot smarter than I was when I started, and I just did it again. I talk about Sarah Blakely, the billionaire owner of Spanx that I met at a mastermind, and she told me her dad asked her every day at the dinner table, what have you failed at today? Because you fail your way to success. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of being in the same place that you are right now next year.
Right.
Everybody that's a huge success has had lots of setbacks, failures, seminars along the way. I just saw a quote by Mark Cuban talking about how failure is a prerequisite to success. So it's, any truly successful person will tell you they've had many, many setbacks. But what's sad is so many people are afraid of that they never actually take action.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you hear me, Rod?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So going from fears, how has your mindset helped you overcome your fears and step out of your comfort zone?
Well, I always knew I wanted more. At first it was just proving to the world I was good enough. So I did the big houses and the Lamborghinis and all that stupid stuff that doesn't matter to me anymore. But now I get so much pleasure out of giving back and adding value that's a driver for me. I've got a wall in my office at home, one of my offices, that's got hundreds of thank you cards, and I live for those things that people send me, that because they took action, they bought a property, they made a change in their life, and that actually drives me. So, it's identifying what it is that you really want and what drives you and what makes you happy. That's the fuel that got me through, and that caused me to continue to take action. I work my butt off. I mean, I literally work typically 12 hours on Sundays. Okay, now that's got to change. That's going to give, but I love it so much. That's the other thing. You got to love what it is you do. So if you're going to do this multifamily real estate thing, either love it or learn to love it, or don't do it. Go do something else, because life is too freaking short to not do what you love. And I love teaching people to change their lives and improve their lives. It truly is a gift from God for me. So, I'm blessed that I found that. Never thought I was ever going to do it, but I love it. So I invite you, encourage you to find what it is you love. And again, if it's not real estate yet, then associate pleasure with all the different pieces of it so that you learn to love it. Because that also is going to give you the passion and the inspiration to be a success in it. That's what it's going to take. You need to be happy and enjoy what it is you're doing.
Okay, one last question, Rod. Since you've experienced setbacks and success, if you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, I wasn't ready for that one. If I could go back and change one thing, I would have started helping people a lot earlier. I really would have actually, I was so focused on me, about proving to the world I was good enough. It cost me my first marriage. I was unhappy because, whenever you focus on yourself, you're never happy. Anyone that's depressed is focused inwardly. I would have wished for my epiphany that I had much, much earlier. It happened when I was 40 or 39. It would have been fantastic. I have coaching students that are in their 20s that are already evolved, that already want to give back, that realize life is about giving back. If I had to do it over again, I would wish for that thought process, for that energy, for that way of being to happen much sooner. That's happiness. When you give love, you give whatever you give, you get. When you give love, you get love. When you give happiness, you give happiness. When you give of yourself financially and your time, it just comes, the universe, God brings it back to you tenfold. And I just wish I'd have gotten that memo a whole lot earlier. I've never said that before, but that's the truth.
Well, and that's what's so awesome about having the platform that you have, because you're now helping other people see just how important that is, from someone coming from where you came from, to wishing you had that earlier. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's that realization that life is bigger than you, that anything on this earth that doesn't contribute, frankly, gets eliminated. So that life really is about giving, like you guys are giving. You're doing this to add value, to help people, and help them network and meet you and meet other people. It's a beautiful thing. That's why I'm happy to help.
All right. Well, we really, really, really appreciate it. This has been absolutely wonderful. Awesome. Thanks for taking your time out in your hotel room.
Anytime. I'm actually going to class tomorrow. Learning is learning. You know how it is. Learning is learning.
That's right.
I'm here learning something else, and which I'm going to share with you guys.
Yep.
Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. I'm very excited to see you in Atlanta.
Awesome.
All right.
We are too.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.